want to welcome you to the Pantheon. I'm your host, Ray, and today we're looking at part 2 of She-Hulk, starring Tatiana Maslany as the character of She-Hulk, aka Jessica Walters, and Tim Roth as Abomination. I will say, from my first review from part 1, my theories, I was way off. Like with Halloween, my theories on Halloween Kills to Halloween Ends, I was way off, and when we do that review, I will get into that in more detail. But I theorized that they were going to get a lot of Hulks. Episode 6, the one we begin with, they really focused on the idea of some evil cabal was trying to get a hold of her DNA, her blood samples, and because the first to be 2 out of the 5 episodes really kind of gave hints of there's something out there, somebody out there who wants to synthesize their version of the Hulk. I went one step beyond in that theory, and watching episode 6, I felt they really digged into that. As you get to the finale, that whole thing kind of like gets dropped by the waistline, but it's done in a way as they bring all these storylines and threads where it's Abomination going straight, whether it's the Hulk going away and coming back with a surprise, which should have been explained a lot more, but it kind of heads up if you're a fan of the comic books with World War Hulk or Planet Hulk. It's a tasty little cameo tidbit that will get you to that, and hopefully something that's going to come down the wire, whether it's going to be in Avengers 4 or Secret Wars. The Hulk's a little surprise nugget there. I had theories about Thunderbolts and I was wrong, but it's good to see that trailer that we're going to have Harrison Ford being Thunderbolt Ross in the upcoming Thunderbolt series, also in Captain America New World Order. You know, all of these threads now, so we're starting to see the threads come together, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. I realize, well, we're running out of time and we don't have any more episodes, we got to close this up. How do we do this? And they do like a, Fast and Furious family come together ending, which is a good way to close it, and sort of like, again, on the nose and in your face type of things. And out of the 8 shows, it is in the top 5. I'm not sure how high up it is, but it's in the top 5 of, in my personal opinion, of the streaming service shows. And it's a break, and you don't need to watch a history of other stuff to get into it. And it's good. And it does kind of tap dance over Phase 5. I mean, we do get a Skrull, which sets up for Secret Invasion in a very distant way. We do get Daredevil, which Charlie Cox is incredible. It's not Frank Miller Daredevil, it's pre-Frank Miller. And it's a much more happier, fun, acrobatic Daredevil, and something, if you're a true fan of Daredevil's like earlier works. And I kind of hope that when we have Born Again, we may get a cameo appearance of Jennifer Walters in that series. It'd be nice, even in post credits of like Born Again at the end or something like that. That'd be kind of nice to give the Matt character something to go with. So there are promising things that can come from this. I hope so. There is some things that critics maybe have been a little too harsh on, and they acknowledge it. I mean, even in the finale, they acknowledge all the tropes, and they go to things that Marvel has done in storytelling and how they how they've kind of created this master mold formula, and they call it out. And now whether they're gonna do anything about that, I seriously doubt it. Because if it's not broken and it works and it's making you money, don't try to fix it. And they may tweak it, but they do acknowledge that they are listening to the fans and the critics, and that's sort of cool as they break their fourth wall on a nice light term. And as we get into now because now as we get to Quantumania and we're getting into Thunderbolts, we're going to get into now the more heavier stuff. And like if you watch a WrestleMania, the undercard before you get to the main event, you need a bit of levity, before you get back into the roller coaster of a dramatic, popping like WrestleMania event. So that's always the undercard is always kind of brings you down to a comedy level, and so when you go back up to the main event, it brings you back up like the roller coaster ride that it's supposed to do. And look, if you're looking at it like that, then Feige and his team are master classmates of doing just that, giving you a variety, giving you options, allowing different audiences to take part and to enjoy it, even if you're not a fan of the collective. And you don't have to watch any single episode of any other previous Marvel contented stuff to enjoy this. I mean, they kind of give it to you. They kind of tell you, even with the Hulk, like point blank, what's going on, how is he doing, and where they are, and what happens to her and her storyline. So it's good. It's very good. So with that, I hope you enjoy it, and we'll talk to you on Wednesday.